Welcome to In Our Time. I'm your host for today, Melvin Bragg, and today's episode is called Ted Hughes' True Confessions. In today's podcast, we will be discussing the ways in which Ted Hughes explores the nature of truth in his anthology Birthday Letters. In Ted Hughes' poetry, specifically Sam and Fulbright Scholars, Hughes explores the nature of truth by demonstrating to us as an audience that the truth is not fixed and that it transforms over time and under the influence of differing representations and perspectives. In his poem, Sam, Ted Hughes demonstrates the changing nature of truth through his presentation of differing perspectives and the use of an allegory. This poem describes a horse riding accident Sylvia Plath, Hughes' first wife, experienced in 1958. Hughes uses this accident as an allegory for the disintegration of his marriage to Plath and her subsequent suicide, effectively pinning the majority of the blame on Plath. This blame is evident through his use of accumulated second-person accusatory pronouns when he says, your incredulity, your certainty, you lost your stirrups, you lost your reins, you lost your seat. However, it is doubtful that Plath's version of the truth of this event would be in any way connected to their marriage or her suicide. In this poem, Hughes is demonstrating his version of the truth of an event that he neither witnessed nor experienced. His relation of this event to their marriage breakdown and her subsequent suicide is, once again, based only on his perspective, to which Plath had limited influence. Upon reading Whiteness I Remember, Plath's poem telling of this event, it is clear to us that the two have vastly different opinions on the truth of this accident. For example, in Whiteness I Remember, Plath places the blame on the horse, Sam, when she says, then, ill for will or to try me, he suddenly set off, green grass steaming, hooves 4 hammers to jolt me into their space of beating. This is contrasted with Hughes' perspective when he says, flung yourself off and under my feet to trip me, and tripped me and lay dead, over in a flash. Hughes' use of strong verbs, such as flung, in the final quatrain of this poem, are used to create drama and suspense to Hughes' telling of his truth. As Robert Evan once said, there are 3 sides to every story, your side, my side, and the truth. This is true for this poem, as Hughes is telling only his side of the truth of the event. This demonstrates Hughes' exploration of the nature of truth in his poetry, because it demonstrates that everyone's versions of the truth are different. Furthermore, Hughes uses extensive rhetorical questioning, along with an uncertain tone throughout his poem Fulbright Scholars, to demonstrate the impact of the unreliability of memory on the nature of truth. In his first poem in the anthology, Hughes is recalling seeing a photograph of that year's intake of scholars in the Fulbright program. However, as this poem is written a number of years later, it is clear that over time Hughes' memory of the event has faded and the truth of the event for Hughes has changed. This faded memory has been demonstrated through the extensive use of rhetorical questions such as, where was it in the Strand? And was it then I bought a peach? It is this rhetorical questioning of the event that indicates to us that Hughes has forgotten over time the specifics of this event, and hence his account of the truth in this instance has changed. He does, however, remember Plath's Veronica Lake Bang and American Grin, which separates her from the rest of the cohort, indicating her sensuality and sex appeal. It is this fallibility in Hughes' memory that demonstrates Hughes' exploration of the changing nature of truth in this poem. Hughes also uses low modality language and repetition to construct an uncertain tone to the poem. He states, maybe I noticed you. Through this use of low modality word maybe, we become aware of his memory's lack of reliability on the matter. His repetition of or when he says just arriving or arrived or some of them adds to this overwhelming sense of uncertainty to the poem. It is this air of uncertainty that demonstrates the effect of the fallibility of memory on the nature of truth, because Hughes' version of the truth of this event has changed from the time of the event to the time he wrote the poem. Fulbright Scholars shows that Hughes' perspective on the truth of this event has become less clear over time and demonstrates Hughes' exploration of the nature of truth in this poem through the emphasis on the untrustworthiness of memory. So it can be seen that through his use of differing perspectives and allegory, rhetorical questioning, and tone, Hughes effectively explores the nature of truth and its fragility as a result of the fallibility of memory and differing perspectives. Thank you all for listening today. Be sure to tune in next week when we'll be discussing the California Gold Rush.